the three essential prayers that she knows are help, thanks, and wow. And you can guess which one I reached for last fall. I prayed for help, to put the sadness and disappointment of the election behind me, to stay hopeful and open-hearted rather than becoming cynical and bitter, and to find some new purposes that would not only be gratifying to me, but would be part of what we are all doing to try to get our country back on the right track. Because clearly I prayed that America's future would be made better, not worse, under the new administration, and I'm still praying on that. I also prayed for wisdom. We read a favorite book of mine, The Return of the Prodigal Son, by the Dutch priest, Henry Nouwen. He talks in it about what he calls practicing the discipline of gratitude. In other words, it's up to us to make the choice to be grateful even when things aren't going well. It isn't enough just to be grateful for the good things. That's easy. We have to be grateful for the hard things too. Grateful even for our flaws because they do make us stronger. After all, it's because of our limitations and imperfections that we have to reach beyond ourselves to one another. In the quiet moments of reflection over the last year on all those walks in the woods, I came to believe that what we need right now, more than anything else, is what you might call radical empathy. In a country as diverse as ours, we are not ever going to agree on absolutely everything. That's okay, it's even healthy. But 2017 has been a case study how important it is to try to recapture a sense of common humanity and citizenship, to try to walk in the shoes of people who don't see the world like we do. Empathy should not only be at the center of our individual lives and our spiritual lives, but it should be at the center of our public life. And that's what you understand here at CBST. After the election, with increased reports of anti-Semitic incidents across America, and violence and bullying against the LGBT community on the rise, this congregation could have turned inward and become isolated. Instead, you opened your doors to neighbors in need of help. You marched in solidarity with the Rohingya and with LGBT people facing persecution in Chechnya. You spoke out against authoritarianism and for truth and justice. You practiced radical empathy and you turned your faith into action. In her poem, Dreams Before Waking, which is printed in the prayer book you read from each week, Adrienne Rich wrote, "What would it mean to live in a city whose people were changing each other's despair into hope? You yourself must change it. What would it feel like to know your country was changing? You yourself must change it. When you join the Women's March or peacefully protest on behalf of immigrants and refugees, you are changing despair into hope. When you stand outside the Islamic Center holding signs that say, Jewish New Yorkers support our Muslim neighbors, you are changing despair into hope. And when you declare with one voice that never again means never again for anyone, you are changing despair into hope. That's what CBST has always done. From the first Friday night services when barely a minion gathered at a church in Chelsea to your new home on West 30th Street. You have changed despair into hope for individuals and families, for communities, and it has rippled out into the larger world. I absolutely know that the courage, leadership, and resilience of Rabbi Kleinbaum and this congregation can help to change our country too. For 25 years, you have been making a difference. I have watched it, I have been impressed by it and admired it. And I come here tonight to say thank you for the last 25 years, but to urge that you continue for the next 25 years, turning despair into hope. We really need that today. Thank you all very much.